Hello everybody, my name is Jordan Evans. I'm a piano player and a music teacher. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to get an extremely productive practice in a short amount of time. So if you're an adult trying to learn an instrument or any other skill and you only have 10 minutes a day, I'm gonna show you how you can get a ton done. And this is actually super productive because it's better in the long run. If you just practiced for 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, improving on what you know, it actually makes a huge difference over time and would be way better than practicing for like 3 hours a day, once a week. And 10 minutes is something that almost anyone can find time to fit in their day. Whether you're right after work, you spend 10 minutes playing, or before you go to bed, or right when you wake up in the morning, whether you're in school or you're working a busy job, it's super easy to find just 10 minutes. And another thing that's cool, if you can just find 10 minutes 5 times a week, you get really into it, and quickly that becomes 15 minutes, 25 minutes, once you get into the habit of doing it. So essentially, once I start practicing, I'm going to do a voiceover so I can kind of explain what I'm doing. That way I can focus on what I'm doing here. But the 5 things I'm going to do, and on my iPad, I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and I'll go ahead and get that. And then every time the 2 minutes is done, I'm just going to say repeat, move on to the next task. So I'll put this all on the screen, but I'm going to do a technique, review something I've already learned, refine something, so take something that's really challenging and try and improve on it. I'm going to learn something brand new. And then finally, something regarding musicianship. This could be practicing singing. This could be listening to music, but actually like actively listening, figuring out what's going on. This could be learning some music theory. It could be composing something. But for today, I'm just going to improvise. So that means I'm just going to sit down for 2 minutes, play on the piano, whatever comes out, comes out. It's very creative. And those are going to be the 5 things I do. Each one's going to get 2 minutes. So I'm going to jump right in, and I'll do a voiceover to explain each thing and kind of give you some ideas of what you can do while I'm doing it. So here we go. 2 minutes, first task. Hello, this is Future Jordan, and I will just be describing what I'm doing. So this right here is just a simple 5-finger scale, and the whole point of it is to really loosen up my fingers, and it's more of an exercise like what an athlete would do. Say you're a baseball player, and before you throw pitches, you want to warm up your shoulder. This is the same thing. I'm really warming up my fingers, and this is the time of the exercise where you can spend time developing your technique, so that way when you go and perform your actual pieces, you're ready to go. As you'll see, I'm just ascending chromatically, so I get to challenge my finger groups in every position. And here, I work every set of 2 fingers. Right here, I'm doing it at 100 beats a minute. If I was practicing longer, I would probably start out slower, maybe 90 beats a minute, and work my way up to like 120. But since I only have 2 minutes, I'm just starting at a moderate speed and getting in as much as I can. Other techniques like this could be arpeggios. You could do major scales, minor scales. There's exercise books like Cherney and Hannon. And the goal with these things is try and keep a smooth, consistent sound. If your sound isn't smooth and consistent, I would say slow down and work on that before bringing the speed up. I definitely recommend using a metronome for stuff like this as well, so you can gauge your progress. So in this next part, I'm going to be refining something I've already learned. So this is music that a few days ago I read through. So I have a general idea of how the whole first page goes. And so all I'm doing here is reviewing it. It's very general. I'm just trying to get from the beginning of the page to the end of the page. any any sections in here that I find particularly challenging, in my next 2-minute section, I'll break down and try and really hone in on those. All right, so there was 2 sections. One of them was that big run descending. It has 2 eighth note triplets followed by 2 16th notes and 3 sets of 16th note triplets. So it's really, really challenging. The fingering of it's not too bad. It's basically an A major scale with an F natural thrown into it. But the challenging thing is how it changes meter right there. Triplet, triplet, toddy, yeah, it's even hard to count it in hindsight. There you go, good job. Whenever you're doing challenging passages like this, especially where one hand is doing something complicated, in this instance, my left hand's doing something very simple. I'm just playing eighth notes, so it's just, I'll count it on the next one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So as long as I can keep track of what my left hand's doing, I can match that along with my right hand. So my left hand's job is to keep me in time. And the goal with stuff like this is I want to have a really crisp, what I'm trying to say is with stuff like this, it's easy for me to accent the rhythms. So like triplet, triplet, eighth note, triplet, triplet, accenting every downbeat. I want to remove those and make it sound smooth all the way across. I felt good about it, so I think I'm going on to this next section where there's a trill with like a chromatic ascension afterwards. I think I'm struggling to read it right here. There you go, good job. Oh, but right when the 2 minutes is up. All right, so now I'm in the part where I'm going to learn something brand new. So I'm onto a new section. And for these 2 minutes, the goal is just to consume as much as possible. So I'm going to play them a couple times over to make sure that I remember them tomorrow when I practice, or whatever the next day is. So the goal is just to consume as much as possible. I don't recommend practicing hands separate. All I was doing there was reading the parts separately and just to make sure my understanding was correct, but I'll always practice hands together. You can hear my foot tapping. I have a terrible habit of tapping my foot to the beat. final thing I'm going to do is just improvise for 2 minutes. So this is one of my favorite things to do on the piano, is just play whatever comes in my mind. And usually it's after I'll do this for like 10 minutes and I start getting really good ideas towards the end. This is the equivalent of like drawing on a blank piece of paper and just seeing what kind of things you come up with. I love doing this before I compose or write music and see what kind of themes I can come up with, or any chord progressions that just stick out to me. And I'm not really going for anything in particular. I'm just playing patterns and notes and seeing what happens. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. That's the first time I've played a theme that really interested me. I like how that sounded a lot. I should have stayed on that theme longer. That was cool. All right, just like that, 10 minutes. So I got some technique in. I reviewed something that I'd already kind of learned. I refined. You saw that there was 2 challenging areas that I wanted to spend a little more time on. I learned 2 new measures and a little bit of a third one. And then I just had some fun playing on piano. 10 minutes, and I promise, if you were to enact a pattern like that, just did it for 10 minutes a day, you would, and just put it away. Enjoy your night, have a good night's sleep. Do it at the same time the next day. I promise, whatever instrument you're playing, whatever you're trying to learn, you will see huge, massive improvements over even the span of like 3 weeks. So best of luck in your endeavors, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.